Sam, we'll start with the first reason. You're over here in the UK, overseeing the family, or what brings you here?
Yeah, well, it's the end of our season in Australia now. We missed out in the finals, so I got a bit of time off, and it's my first chance to get back in England. For 2 years, so it's really nice to be back home and see my mum and my brothers in my old home.
And do you keep a lot of contact with your family whenever you're back down under?
Yeah, I speak to my mum quite a lot. It's obviously hard with the time difference and my schedule over there. But yeah, as often as I can, I'll try and speak to my mum and Thomas, the only one left, and see how they're getting on.
And with Tom, do you keep a close eye on his career, and obviously your former team here is Bradford? Do you still keep an eye on them whenever you're down under? Do you try and keep up to date with the Super League?
Yeah, the first result that I look for is obviously the Bulls result, and I speak to Thomas obviously on his own performance. It's hard to watch all of the games over there. They only show 2 games a week, but when he's on, I'll certainly sit down and watch it. So yeah, he's done well this year, and I'm really happy for him. Looking forward to watching him improve next year.
I know obviously a couple of other brothers over with you there now as well. What have you made of the other 2 guys this season? Yeah,
Luke has come straight in and slotted straight into the first team and done a fantastic job there. And George has been playing for our second team, North Sydney, and he's improved a lot. He's lost a lot of weight and he's looking very lean. And I think he'll play a few games for us next year. And he's been really switched on, and I'm looking forward to seeing him train in pre-season also.
Fantastic. Good year for the brothers. Wasn't such a great season for yourself. Can you talk us through sort of what's been going through in your mind all year with injuries and sort of not really getting the game time under your belt? How have you coped with that this season?
It's been a challenge this year. Obviously not playing. I only played 5 games at the start of the year and got injured. So it's been certainly a different experience being injured throughout a full year. And you have to try and find distractions on the weekend. To try and feel the same as a game. So it's certainly been tough, but I got through that, and I've really enjoyed things I've done away from the game. I've done a lot of work for the club and with sponsors. So it's been a fantastic sort of learning curve this year, and sort of makes you realise how much how fortunate we are to do what we do. And like I said, I'll never forget that after this year. So I'm looking forward to pre-season and getting back into it. I'm sure it's going to be tough with a new coach, but I'm looking forward to the challenge.
You mentioned that new coach, Michael Maguire, obviously coming down. How much do you know about him and what he's achieved up here in his time with Wigan?
I know he's been very successful at Wigan. I know a lot of the guys respect him and like what he's done there. So I'm really looking forward to working with him next year in pre-season. Hopefully can bring that success to us as well. I mean, it's been a few years now since South Sydney have won anything as a club. So looking forward to that, and hopefully can bring it over.
Obviously, when you're up here, will you be hanging around long enough to see any of the 4 Nations when you're here?
No, unfortunately, it's I got back just before the grand final here. I've got a few commitments back in Sydney, so I'm not gonna see any of the 4 Nations, unfortunately, live. But I'll certainly be watching back in Australia and cheering them along. So looking forward to seeing how the guys get on. There's a lot of work you can see around here. Being put into the 4 Nations, and I'm really excited for England's chances.
And how do you think England are going to get on that tournament? Obviously, we know all about Australia and New Zealand. We've got a new Wales team coming in as well. We've done well in the last couple of years. What are you expecting from the competition?
Oh, it's going to be tough. I think Australia and New Zealand are certainly prepared, and I can see that in England the guys have been doing a lot of work as well. I know Steve and his team, here at the RFL have been putting a tremendous effort to get England very prepared for this 4 Nations. So I think we've got as good a chance as anyone. I think Wales will be excited and fresh in the competition. So I think it's going to be an exciting tournament. I'm disappointed I'm not part of it, but like I said, anyone's got a chance on the day, and I'm really back in England, as I would do, and like I said, I hope to get out there and win.
Obviously, one of the things you're going to miss out on is a big double header down at Wembley. It would be
come on, mate, you'd have to remind me.
A great one for all the guys that are going to be there. Obviously, that's a sad one to miss out, but how good do you think it is to have 2 games in such a big stadium in this sport as well?
Oh, it's fantastic. I think as a kid playing in England, when you're growing up, you want to go play at Wembley, and even better to represent your country there is going to be fantastic. So thanks for bringing that one up and reminding me I'm going to miss it. But like I said, it's going to be a great spectacle. And hopefully it's something that can be a continuous thing throughout over years. Because I certainly love to play there for England. So make that up in RFL. So yeah, no, mate, it's going to be great, and I'm really looking forward to watching that.
Obviously, a couple of guys who might be with a chance of playing are guys you might know a bit more about than we do, Jack Reid and Chris Hidington.
Yeah.
I might get that wrong. What can you tell us about those two players?
Jack Reid is a young, strong, powerful centre, and he's had a great breakthrough year in the NRL. He's been a prolific try scorer at Brisbane, and he's very strong, a strong outside back. So he's young, he's fresh, and I'm sure he's going to be a great addition to the squad. Whereas Chris Heinington's more of a seasoned professional, very hard working forward, and he's very honest as well. So we'll see how they go, but I'm sure if they play, they'll add some strength to the squad.
And also, obviously, Gareth Widdop coming up here as well, a guy you know a lot about, been in the England setup before. Do you think it's a good thing to have these exciting young faces coming into the England team, and obviously a lot of young talent coming through in the ranks here as well?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I mean, you need to, the older guys that are coming towards the end, you need to find replacements for that. And I think it's exciting that we've got some young, fresh talent in. There's Sam Tompkins, as you mentioned, Gareth Widdop. And Gareth Widdop's had a fantastic year playing, number 6 for the Melbourne Storm, with the league leaders. So, he's had a great year, and hopefully can bring some of that, some of that success to the England squad this year. And like I said, I'm just really looking forward to watching them, and it's it's quite frustrating not being able to be a part of this year's Four Nations.
But fingers crossed, you'll be keeping your fingers crossed for a successful England campaign.
That's it, fingers and toes, mate. I'll be cheering on from Australia and trying to rally the troops up as well. So, good luck to the boys, and I'm sure they'll do a good job.